Hey, I'm Butterfly.
Hey, I'm Firefly.
Have you ever wondered if we aren't being told the truth about everything?
What have we been lied to about? Join us as we have conversations and ask questions about everything. We invite you to keep an open mind and consider the unfathomable.
Let's break the chains that enslave our minds. Come on, let's go down the rabbit hole.
Hey, Butterfly, what's going on?
What's up, Firefly?
Why don't you tee us off?
Let's talk some trash.
We're going to talk trash.
Let's talk trash.
Dude,
We talked trash on one of our early
it's
episodes.
like the 10th episode.
Oh my gosh. But you know what? I got this little pamphlet in the mail with my trash bill, and I was just so inspired. I felt like we needed to revisit this topic
Yeah.
and talk about this some more because I got this pamphlet and it talks all about how we have to sort through our trash.
Yes.
And it says sort of okay is not okay when sorting trash. And it goes on and on about how, you have to put like food waste in one container and that can go into the yard waste, but it has to be bagged, which I thought that was kind of weird because then are
You're
they
not
like
using extra bags?
emptying the bags? And isn't the bag like not part of the compostable
That's not
items?
eco-friendly.
No, so that doesn't make any sense. And then they have like a whole diagram on the back of this thing that shows like it says yes. And there's a green check and it shows all the things that can be recycled. And then it says no. And it shows the stuff that can't be recycled. Like you can't recycle medical needles and sharps. Would you ever think you could?
You
And
know, when I get done shooting heroin, sometimes I'm like, dude, can you recycle that?
I know, because like that's like usually what's going to be on your mind after you're getting like totally, just like ready to have an
You're on the
overdose on.
nod, totally about to pass out, and you're just like, recycle this. I'm really not.
And then it says you can't recycle plastic bags, which is weird because like remember they made all those bags. Oh, and this is funny too because you know how we always say how we always say that they come up with these plans and then they just don't work out the
The culture
culture
club.
club.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And remember how they started saying that like we had to pay for bags and um they kind of
10 cents.
yeah, and they banned all those. They stopped giving us those thin plastic bags in like
Oh, yeah.
grocery stores and stuff, but they started handing out these super thick ones.
Thick.
Remember how thick? And remember, I kept saying this is ridiculous because now they're using probably like 5 times as much plastic to make these plastic bags. Well, there's a whole thing in here in this pamphlet about how they're not going to make those thick plastic bags anymore because that just didn't really work out. And they were using more plastic. And so they realized that they have to go back to either the thin ones or now they're actually going to start giving us um, paper bags because it says those thicker plastic bags are no longer allowed. Stores may only provide customers with recycled paper carryout bags for 10 cents.
Why did they ever even have plastic bags?
Well, it said California banned single-use plastic bags at checkout counters years ago, but the law didn't have the hoped for result of reducing single-use plastic bags. Some businesses began providing thicker plastic bags that were considered reusable. Plastic bag use only increased, and the data shows that the tonnage of grocery and merchandise bags disposed of by Californians grew by 47%
See?
between 2014 and 2022. So their little idea, like to use the plastic bags, use the thicker ones, it just like increased the problem.
Completely backfired. Which what you're saying is that's actually an interesting white pill because That's what a lot of their plans do.
They do.
They completely backfire
That
on
they
them.
backfire. Like I think
That's a white pill.
I know. I remember the whole straw thing. They were on that straw bandwagon a few years ago. Like you can't have straws, and a lot of businesses were like banning straws.
Hmm.
And then they were giving you like the paper straws.
Ugh.
I think that just didn't work out, and now I notice the straws have made a comeback. So, but anyway, the reason why I thought we needed to revisit this was because um, I found this pamphlet really kind of funny. And amusing how they're like going on and on. I mean, this is like a let's see, one, two, three, four. This is a 4-page pamphlet that they sent out that's got all these different sections in it about how we're supposed to separate our trash and recycle. And it shows these like flow charts, your food waste journey. Um, it's got diagrams.
Waste journey.
Yeah. Looking forward to coastal cleanup day. New bag law takes effect. It's a law about these bags. Um, Free mulch and compost available. Let's see. Uh, there's a Mountain View food recycling facility. It's like this whole thing that they're trying to get us on this like I feel like it's another method of control, and they really want people focused on this tedious little chore of
It's micromanagement.
micromanaging our
They
trash.
want you to micromanage
Yes,
your trash. But
yes,
what we've talked about is it's all an exercise in futility, and they
yes.
know it because once they get to the landfill, they dump it all in the same place.
Well, the premise of the whole the episode we did prior to this, which you said was episode number 10 on trash, was inspired because I was stuck on this 2-lane road, very long road, right behind a trash truck. And I watched it stop at every single house, and it picked up both the recycle bin and the trash bin and dumped everything into the same truck. It
So,
all went to the same
so if
things.
that's true, then all of this anal micromanagement of separation is just a um,
Utah,
it's a futile thing, and it's just basically telling you you jump through our hoops. Don't worry about whether or not it's actually doing anything.
right. I think this is all part of the whole you know, globe warming
Earth mod.
Earth mod agenda that they want to try to terrify people about, that the world is coming to an end because of like you're using too much gas in your earth mod, and now because you didn't separate your food waste from your toilet paper or whatever, you're contributing to the problem. And this is a really big problem, and everybody needs to micromanage their trash, and we're going to micromanage you to make sure that you're micromanaging your trash. And I think that it gives like people something to focus on. I think they want people busy worrying about where to put their trash instead of like some of the bigger problems we have in the world, like communist takeover and digital currency
Yes.
enslaving us. you know?
It also kind of is trauma-based mind control too,
Yeah.
because when you start telling people to watch out about your trash, they kind of conjure up like horrific environmental crises
Yes.
so that you'll sit there and feel shame about your lifestyle, feel
Yeah.
shame about being a human, feel shame about everything you've thrown away, and start to kind of feel guilty for even living. That's what they want you to
Yeah.
have.
And it's like, the world is so close to coming to an end that if you don't scrape your leftover food into one bin and throw your napkin into another bin and your beer bottle into a third bin, then you are pushing us to the brink of collapse. Like, I think that that's really where they want people's mindsets to be. You
Because
know what
what
I
they'll
mean?
do is they'll show images of like, um, have you ever seen like images of China and India and how they handle their trash?
Oh,
So,
isn't it just kind of all over the street in India?
so India and China both, they just dump their trash into rivers that flow into the ocean, and both of
Wow.
them have littered so much trash into these rivers that it's flowed into the ocean and created an island of trash in the Pacific Ocean.
Right. Well, what I've actually seen is, um, I think it is in the Philippines somewhere that we actually ship off our trash to.
Hmm.
So while they're telling people we have to be so, you know, tedious and careful with our trash and separate all the recycles and stuff, meanwhile, they're putting it on a big boat and shipping it overseas and they're just dumping it into like islands and oceans. And I mean, how efficient is that to like haul our trash across the ocean and then
It's
dump it,
not efficient. And then
you
they'll
know?
take a picture of that catastrophic wreckage
Yeah.
and then show it to Americans and say, just look at what you do.
Yeah, look at all your trash and you didn't separate it right.
You know,
So now
you should
there's the
just kill
problem.
yourself.
There's the problem.
You didn't separate it right. It has nothing to do with China and India just dumping their trash. Like they show beaches in India,
Yeah,
and the whole beach is not just littered with trash. It's like the beach is under like 5 foot deep of trash.
yeah. And what, um, like, it's so funny. I just saw a trash truck drive by. Um, what is the point of us going through the chore and jumping through the hoops of separating our trash to the point where now it's not even just like a recycle bin where you can throw your beer cans and your bottles and a garbage bin. It's a recycle bin, a garbage bin, a yard waste bin, and you're supposed to put your like leftover food in a compost bin. So it's like they've gotten it even down to like even a more micromanagey kind of way. But what is the point of that when the trash trucks are putting all of it into the same trash truck and it's all being dumped into the same dump?
Maybe the point is conditioning people,
It's conditioning and control.
conditioning and control.
Yeah.
It's about getting you to feel ashamed of being alive and understanding that you do not get to have the lifestyle that your parents enjoyed.
No,
You don't get to have air conditioning, a front yard and a backyard, a couple of cars, and take a couple of vacations. You don't get to have that.
you're too busy separating your trash.
You separate your trash and move into your 15-minute city. And if you would, just order your coffin.
Yeah. Because it's really important that you separate all your trash and realize that that's a problem. Now, do you think Obama separates his trash?
No. He's got people who do. I was just noticing your
Uh,
cup. What does your cup say right there?
it says reduce.
And that's messaging.
It's messaging. So that's on my cute mug that I bought that's got butterflies all over it. And I did notice that too, Firefly, because
It
I
looks
thought
like that's the name of the brand.
that's the name of the brand, and that's trying to put out this it's kind of like they're putting out subliminal messages everywhere with their brainwashing and indoctrination, but this is part of it. They're telling me that by using this cup, I'm going to reduce
You
the
reduce.
trash.
You reduce. And reduce is just like the one word.
Yeah.
What they really want you to do is reduce you.
Yeah.
We want to reduce how many yous there are.
Reduce your carbon footprint.
Reduce, if you would, reduce by ordering your coffin.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of the messaging, the subtle messaging of all of this environmental stuff is Gaia is sick and the
Mm-hmm.
humans are the virus.
Totally.
And you need to hurry up and die
Yeah.
because you're bad for Gaia.
But before you die, in the meanwhile, we want you to dig through your garbage cans and separate all your stuff because it's
Mm,
really important.
everything's so micromanagey. It's kind of like
Yeah.
when you go out to the islands and say, those weeds are invasive. We're pulling those out.
Yeah.
Everything's about micromanaging what's good and what's bad.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's all you do. You go through your trash and you find out, oh, this is good, but this is bad. You can disregard this.
Yeah.
But then while you're going through it, you should always be thinking, I need to reduce how much trash I'm producing
Right.
because what they always have as like The backdrop is crisis.
Crisis. The world's coming to an end because of like all this trash.
There's a there's a Bad Religion song where he goes, "Keep yourself in line. There's no design. The new paradigm is crisis time."
That's perfect.
And it's exactly because that's the new paradigm. It's crisis time.
Yeah,
So when you're in a crisis, that means we all need to work together and we need to address this crisis.
right.
Now, you pick through your trash and you make sure I don't, even the trash guy is kind of like browbeating you here. He's like, you're doing all right, but it's not okay.
It's not enough.
You've got your mulch, you've
Yeah.
got your recyclables, and you've got your trash, but you're doing good, but you can do better. But meanwhile, once we get to the landfill, we just dump it all in one big pile. As a matter of fact, we ship some of it to the Philippines.
Yeah, so this yeah, this section of the pamphlet says sort of okay is not okay when sorting trash, and it says it's human nature. Um, the customers trying to get the right trash in the right cart. People don't tend to focus on what material they're trying to discard and which containers they should be going in, as he says. For the most part, I think people do a decent job, but it's not as good as it could be.
It's not as good as it could be,
Yeah.
although I don't really understand. I mean, if you're putting your recycling in the recycling bin, your mulch in the mulch, and your trash in the trash, how much more could you possibly do?
Well, this is what he says. When it comes to sorting trash, it's vital,
It's vital. It's
vital
crisis time.
that we all take the time to get it right. Sort of okay is not okay.
But what that still doesn't suggest, like, where am I messing up? If I'm separating all the plastic bottles,
Well, when you throw your recyclable waste into the trash cart or versa, you greatly slow down our complex sorting process and increase
oh,
the chance of recyclables ending up in landfills. If you toss your food waste into the trash instead of bagging them and adding them to your yard waste cart, you're increasing methane gas produced in landfills.
let the trash
So
guys earn their money.
so they want you to put your food waste into
Mulch.
they want you to add it to your yard waste, but they want you to bag it, which that doesn't make any sense to me because if it's getting turned into mulch, like why are they putting it in bags? And then it says it's by doing this wrong, you're increasing the methane gas. Now that sounds like Bill Gates when he was measuring the cow farts.
It's a 6%. It comprises 6%
I won
of the atmosphere.
I wonder what percentage this adds to the atmosphere.
Bill Gates says it's about 4 or 5.
So you putting your stuff in the wrong bin is increasing the methane.
It's
I
not
mean,
okay.
it could be as bad as those cows that fart, you know?
How's it increasing the methane?
I guess because you're putting it in the wrong place.
But wait, I don't get it. So
You're
if you don't bag your food trash,
Yeah,
you're increasing methane?
if you toss your food waste into the trash instead of bagging them and adding them to your yard waste cart, you're increasing methane gas produced in landfills.
But the methane gas is buried as the landfill gets.
It's all Kool-Aid. This stuff is ridiculous. Like have seen them putting everything in the same trash truck. So if you're
It's trauma-based mind control.
So if you're going to all that effort and work to carefully separate all your trash and then the truck comes by and he just dumps it all into the same truck, then what are they going to like resort it once they get to the thing after you've
No,
already sorted it?
no, which
What's
makes
the
me
point?
think this whole pamphlet is full on, has nothing to do with reality at all.
No,
It's
because
all conditioning.
they know they're doing that. This company that sent out the pamphlet, this was the exact company that I followed for about 3 miles on a 2-lane road and watched him stop at every house and do this. It was,
Exactly.
yeah. So they were dumping, and I've seen this on more than one occasion. It wasn't just that trash truck was being lazy. This is what they do. They dump
It's kind of
everything.
like when Peter Hotez comes out and he says, you're gonna have to stay 6 feet away.
Yeah.
Well, the 6 feet is nothing to do with reality.
No,
It's just a micromanagement and a control mechanism, and it's jump through our hoops like we tell you to do.
totally.
But this also has an element of global warming.
It's very glow
It's
warming-ish.
glow warm because they're saying
It's like the glowworms.
it's the
Remember
glowworms.
those?
Those are glowworms. It's glow wormings. So the thing is what they're kind of saying is you're failing. That's the first thing it says
Yeah,
is you're failing.
you're not doing it as good as it could be.
And then
Yeah,
your cup says reduce.
yeah.
So you're getting all these orders barked at you. Your cup
I
is
know.
just telling you something to do. It's
Yes.
like ordering you, reduce.
Yeah,
Reduce is kind of a command.
it is.
Reduce.
And maybe I don't want to reduce.
No,
Maybe I want to
expand.
go bigger.
Expand.
Yeah.
I want to
Go
elaborate,
bigger, go home.
you know?
Yeah.
So it's reduce and it's also micromanage and it's also crisis.
Yep. And jump through hoops.
You jump through the hoops and you're not doing a good job.
Right.
That's the other
And
thing.
the world is coming to an
What I
end.
notice is environmentalists are always browbeating everybody and how bad of a person they are and
Yeah.
how bad of a job you're doing.
Well, and I don't know why I'm thinking about this, but it always reminds me that there's this certain side of the population that likes to be controlled and micromanaged, and they like to do as they're told by the
Mhm.
news. And I've noticed that the you know how there's like a lot of kind of like places that we could go hiking around where we live,
Mhm.
and they've been there for like ever since like I don't know, the beginning of time, I guess.
Yeah.
But now suddenly that group of people have turned some of those areas into designated hiking areas with paved parking lots. They paved paradise to put up a parking lot in
Mhm.
these areas, and I believe that they're actually like making people pay to go there to a couple of them. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you have to pay to go to that one garden now, right?
Yep.
Yep. And
Except on
those,
Fridays.
oh, on Fridays it's free. Those were all places that were, they've been here like this whole time. Like they've always been here, but now suddenly they've been announced as hiking, designated hiking areas. And now that kind of people, those kind of people, I like to call them libtards.
They are.
They're like flocking to these areas now. They're like packed. It's like they have to be told that um,
You can go hike here.
you can go hike here. They have to be told like to
This
go
has
do
been
that.
made available for you now.
Yeah. Meanwhile, those places have always
You
been
could
hiking
have
places.
hiked there before, but we didn't have a parking lot and a path,
Yeah. And we didn't tell you to go do it.
and we didn't sanction that.
Yeah. We didn't say this is a hiking trail, but
You,
it's actually been a hiking trail for probably like over 50 years.
yes, but
Now
people,
it's an official hiking
we
trail.
have declared it, and that's how it is. And people wait for their cues.
Yeah. People are such followers,
They're so followers.
especially that those kind of people, the ones that watch CNN and NBC and like wait for their cues and their instructions from the
They're just
news.
so happy to play in their playpen
Yeah,
and just be told, "This is your playpen. You don't leave this."
right. So I'm sure that there's a lot of those people that will be like digging through their trash and micromanaging their trash at home because they got this pamphlet and they're told that they aren't doing a good enough job and they need to go micromanage their trash better,
And they
you know?
believe what they're told, even when there's glaring contradiction.
They don't see the contradictions.
They
They
don't
don't ask
care. They
questions.
don't care.
No.
And if you bring up glaring contradictions to them, they just go, "Excuse me, you're a fascist."
Yeah. They just like think that you're crazy.
So this is kind of subtle conditioning, and this is an example of how we're constantly bombarded with micromanagement and conditioning, and also this underlying theme of crisis time. Because if it's not crisis, then you have no impetus to change.
Yeah,
So what they have to do is they have to convince you of the crisis.
totally. And they can easily convince those kind of people by just handing them this pamphlet and telling them like how important it is. And it makes me think of the other pamphlets that I get with some of my bills where it always has like these graphs and these charts and it shows like this is the amount of electricity or gas that your neighbors or water that your neighbors are using, and this is the amount that you use. and it's always more.
Unverified.
Yeah,
That's unverified too.
always. Like, I've never had a bill where it says, "You use less than all of your neighbors." I've never gotten one of those, and I don't think that my house really uses that much of any of those things.
Because the messaging can never be keep up the good work.
No, it's never that. It's always, "You're not doing enough. You're not doing your part. You're doing worse than, like, most of your neighbors." And I'm thinking, "Man, if I'm doing worse than my neighbors, I would literally have to be probably, like, never turning the lights on and, like, never doing laundry and, like, really just, like, basically lighting a, candle at night and turn and, like,
Uh,
doing the, dishes in,
how
like,
about you light
the
your candle at
toilet."
night? You light your candle at night, and then Bill Gates comes on like a speaker in your house, and he goes, "Those candles are contributing 4.5% of the methane.
Yeah, you're almost as bad as the cow farts.
You're as bad as cow farts with that candle. Please turn." Because even if you did all of those austerity measures that you just mentioned,
Yeah,
they would still tell you that you're not cutting
they
it
would still tell me I wasn't doing a good enough job, you
because
know?
that's necessary. They have
Yeah,
to instill in you that you need to be better
right.
because no matter what, they want you exterminated.
Yeah.
See, when you look at something like this, you have to kind of unpack it backwards from they want you exterminated.
Yes.
This is like their kind of subtle messaging.
This is
Like
like, "You're using way too much stuff on this earth.
you're
Your carbon
using too
footprint
much.
is too much."
You know, it's a crisis.
Yeah.
You're it like what does it say right there? It says, it's not okay.
"It's not okay.
It's not okay is
What
kind
you're
of the
doing
message.
is a problem."
You need to understand that it's not okay. We're in a crisis and you're kind of contributing to that crisis.
Yeah.
That's the whole messaging. So we need to get out of that. What is white pill? So white pill on this one is um don't get me wrong. I totally believe in recycling and clean environments. I totally want clean water. I totally want clean air. And I totally like the idea of um,
Reusing things.
reusing things. I
Yeah, I
love
don't
that.
believe in being wasteful,
No,
but
but
I also don't really worry about which bin I'm putting stuff in after witnessing what I witnessed because I'm not gonna like worry about like if one of my bins is like not very full and the other one's really full, I'll just like fill up the second one because I know it's all going into the same place. So I'm
it's
just
kind of
like,
like I'll
whatever.
go clean my daughter's room for a really nice, and then she'll go spend like 3 hours in it, and just it looks like a grenade went off in there.
Oh my God.
And I'm just like, oh. So it's kind of like that.
Yeah,
It's an exercise in futility
exactly.
because you're gonna go and like obsess over your trash,
Yeah,
and they're gonna chuck it all into the same place and
right,
probably send it off to the Philippines.
right.
You know,
Yeah.
we send what was I seeing? We send a lot of our e-waste overseas.
Oh yeah.
And so
Yeah,
what's happened over in China is we've sent tons of our e-waste over there and it's leached into the soil and the water. And now
totally.
you have um, people that kind of look like the swamp thing, like emerging from those
Yeah.
towns.
Oh, you know what? That reminds me too. This is sort of slightly off topic, but I just saw a couple of videos showing that all of the old phones, you know how they have these things where it says recycle, you can recycle your phone here and just drop your
Okay.
and we just wipe it. They say they wipe it so it's like cleared out so none of your stuff is in there. Well, no, you know what? I've never trusted that, and I have actually never turned in one of my phones because I just don't, I feel like they're going to get my information off of there. So I have all my old phones.
Did they prove that they don't
They
get wiped?
proved that they don't. It says they wipe off like the calls and stuff, but they save like all of the I guess social media information and it showed these huge shelves that had like slots of like thousands of cell phones and what they do is they're bot farms. So they turn them into like these bots that go on that they can plug into social media and make it look like you have like all these, comments in one direction or another and basically throttle you in whichever way they want to.
Which is weird.
Mm-hmm.
They do that. They totally manipulate stuff and they
Yeah.
go and they say, by the way, look at all these bots and what they're saying to try to manipulate people's opinions.
Yeah.
That's how it
They
is.
make it look like it's a real person. So it's like, oh, it came from a real phone, but they're all programmed in these like factories to just like comment as bot farms.
And then they also will go, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and throttle your post right now because we're not sure if you're a human. You seem kind of bot-like in your behavior. So they use that as another crisis.
Exactly.
Bots are a crisis.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think recycling and reusing is good, but we're being manipulated. We're
Yeah.
being conditioned,
Micromanaged.
totally micromanaged. What they're trying to say with this trash thing is, you have a single family house in Southern California, and we don't like that.
No.
You're living like it's 1999, and we want you to have a 15-minute city. We want you to hurry up and get rid of, you don't deserve all that you have.
Right.
Obama said you can't have that. He said everybody can't have air conditioning. Mhm,
I can have mine
mhm.
in my 8 houses on the beach, but you can't have any.
Big Mike works out and pumps up his deltoids, but we have air conditioning in the gym. But you yourself, you need to, if it's really hot, just grin and bear it. Grin and bear it.
Open a window.
Exactly. You need to make some sacrifices for the earth. So that's kind of what this messaging is kind of like.
Yeah.
It's you're bad, there's a crisis, and you need to do better. You need to do better. So the white pill on this one is don't fall for this and start to observe that they're hijacking environmentalism to corral us.
Yes.
So they've hijacked environmentalism to corral us.
Yeah.
Recognize that.
Right.
I'm an environmentalist. I'm a tree hugger. I love nature. I love clean water. I love clean air. And
Me
I
too.
call attention to chemtrails.
Yeah.
And, the earth modification we've talked about is not from global warming, it's from HARP and dews.
It's from them modifying everything and changing the weather.
Everybody, all of our listeners, go check out, if you don't know him already, Dane Wigington. That's his name. He's from out of SoCal, but he's been doing like 40 years of studying Earth modification. He said every country in the world has these weather modification technologies that they use every day.
Mm.
And he said it's so widespread that now every single weather pattern on Earth is artificial.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
how extensive it is.
I don't doubt it because the weather patterns are really weird now.
Yeah.
They don't really make sense. And they've conditioned these, lib earth modification freaks into thinking that, oh, it's because, we're using too much gas or the cow farts or whatever. And this is what the problem is. And it's really,
6% of the methane comes from those flatulence,
yeah.
butterfly.
And it's hard.
That's significant.
It's hard as ridiculous as Bill Gates sounds with all of his things. It's hard to convince these people that are terrified of Earth mod that it's being manipulated by the government. It's not like because of actual
Well,
natural Earth mod.
like for instance, they'll I believe, now some people might disagree with me, but I believe that hurricane that hit Western North Carolina
Yeah,
was HARP.
totally.
So, what Dane Wigington suggested was they use these large electromagnetic pulses.
Hmm.
And these large electromagnetic pulses that are artificially created can actually steer hurricanes and increase the volatility of the hurricane.
Wow.
And so they steered it and made it more volatile and crashed it into the western part of North Carolina, completely devastating the city. Now,
That
Asheville, I think it was Asheville.
that kind of sounds like gain of function, but
Yes,
for the earth instead
that's
of
exactly
for
right.
for viruses making them more catchy
Yes, because you have people like Dr. Fauci who are like, let's take this virus and see
and
if we can make it more catchy.
more catchy and more deadly.
And you
And
have
then
other
we're going to
people
give it to
saying, let's
beagles.
this hurricane and make it more deadly and steer it towards a highly populated area.
Yeah.
So
Oh my God. I was just like Dr. Evil running the world.
it is Spectre. Like as they're thinking about it, he's like petting his cat. So, anyways, so what this is part of the insidious agenda. So then you'll see this weather anomaly take place in Western North Carolina, and the mainstream news will cover it, but the coverage story will be crisis. Global warming has caused another anomaly.
Right.
Look at how Western North Carolina, and they'll even say this never gets hurricane hits. Now it got devastated because most of the time, if a hurricane develops in the Gulf of Mexico, it usually loses all its force by the time it hits the panhandle of Florida and maybe a little bit into Georgia. It's not going to go up that direction all the way into North Carolina,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So therefore they had to artificially do that. But what the insidious lying mainstream news will say to people is, look at what global warming has caused.
Right.
We've never had devastation like this.
And
And then they'll interview some white trash dude, my house floated away.
yeah, exactly. And then you try to like explain this to the people and they're like, but look, it's happening. It's global warming.
You got to
And it's
understand.
like,
And then, so then what they'll do is they'll have a story like that, and then they'll follow it up with this trash story. You know what I'm saying? So they'll get you traumatized thinking, "Oh my God, look at
what?
that hurricane. That's unfounded. We've never had hurricane damage in Western North Carolina. By the way, we need you to do a better job with your
And then
trash.
you'll be like, oh my God, I have to do something. This is what I can do.
Honey,
I
we're
can
not
do
even
this.
using the mulch. Come on now.
Yeah.
You're dropping the ball. You're causing hurricanes."
Totally.
That's kind of see, it's
It
insidious.
is.
And you know what's also part of that is our education system.
Right.
So, like I brought up bad religion. Like
Hmm.
Greg Graffin, he is totally part of the education system. I think he was a professor, like a paleontologist. I
Yeah.
think he was a paleogeneticist. I'm sorry. So, anyways, and he was like one of the foremost paleontologists in the world.
Oh God.
So he's drinking the Kool-Aid and serving the
Yeah.
Kool-Aid. I
Yeah.
love his music, but he serves Kool-Aid. And when you go to college, they teach you all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like Harvard University is full on woke.
Oh yeah.
Like if you go take a biology class at Harvard, they're going to tell you global warming is not only real, but it's an existential crisis. That's the word they always use.
And it's probably going to kill the frogs, which are like,
Mm,
transgender.
these transgender frogs that we gave atrazine to, they're going to be extinct pretty soon because of your meat eating. So the white pill on this one is understand how this Kool-Aid works.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I'm not an environmentalist because see, if you push back against stuff, people are just like, you just don't care about the environment. That's not true.
No,
I'm an environmentalist. I'm just not going to drink Kool-Aid.
exactly.
Anything else on this one?
I think it was perfect.
Okay. All right, everybody. Remember, find us on Instagram, find us on Spotify, find us on Rumble. We're going to build a bit shoot. I know I've been saying that, but I've been lagging. I got to build our bit shoot.
And if you enjoyed this episode and you have a friend who you think would like it, please share
Please
and give us a
share.
thumbs up. I think by sharing the episodes, you can help spread the word and plant some seeds, which helps the environment.
Totally. Those are
And
great analogies.
yes, and you can help us grow our
Movement.
movement.
It's a movement.
Yes, yes,
Not like a bathroom movement. It's a movement.
yeah,
The other thing too is please comment.
yeah,
Like if something that we talked about in this episode makes you think about something, or you feel like, oh, they didn't mention this and this is really good, or you totally disagree with us, let us know because we can incorporate your comments into future episodes
exactly.
and we can start to have a more of a dialogue.
Maybe you have something that might inspire us for an episode.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes. So anyway, I think that was great.
okay.
I'll
All right.
talk
We'll
to you
talk to
later.
everybody soon.
Bye.